Hello friends, this is Ronak. A warm welcome to everyone on my YouTube channel. This is the second episode of the debit spread. So guys, if you haven't looked the first episode of debit spread, then probably first watch that first episode and then watch this video, because this video will be the continuation of the first episode. So this is the debit spread part 2. In this part, I will going to cover position size of the debit spread, entry at the time when we should have to take the entry, exit when to book the profit or book the loss, and third, the adjustment part. This is what I am going to cover in this video. Okay, then let's get started. So position size. Position size is a very important factor in debit spread, guys. So there are three parameters that we need to consider for the position size. That first is the spread size. How much spread size we are going to take. Second, how much risk we wanted to put into this trade versus the ROI expectation. The more risk, the more ROI. The less risk, less ROI. Depends upon your capital size, you are taking a risk on your positions, and then accordingly your ROI expectations will be set. Third, the adjustment cost which is required in case if trade goes against us. Okay, so let's look into this position size. Okay, so let's say guys, I have created the spread of 36,800 at 212. I buy 212 rupees put of the 36,800 strike price and sold the 36,300 strike price 102 put. So my spread size is 500 rupees. My capital, let's say, is a 10 lakhs rupees. I want to take the 2% risk on my trade. That's a 20,000 rupees I am taking. 110 rupees net debit will be there, right? And maximum profit will be 390. So if you divide 20,000, that's the risk I am taking, divide by 110, right, which is my net debit, that means 180 quantity something coming, right? So 180 quantity should be the ideal position size. So round about the whatever lot size, you can go with the 175 or 200 quantity. So I have kept the 175. So maximum profit we are going to get from this trade is the 390 into 175, almost 68,000 rupees. So this is how position size. So for this spread, ideal position size will be the 175 quantity on the capital of the 10 lakhs rupees. This is the way you can calculate your position size of the debit spread. Now, second thing, when to enter into the debit spread. What are the parameters we need to consider? So as and when you are taking an entry into the debit spread, you have to identify the support and resistance of your trade. You have to identify the strike selections and India VIX behavior. So support and resistance. Currently spot price is 37,100 and this is my support. 37,000 is my support. As and when this support breaks, guys, I will be going to take the trade and I will be going to buy the immediate next price or next to next strike price. So in this scenario, if 37,000 will break, I will buy the 36,800 at 212 and I will sell the 36,300 at 102. So this strike price I select based on the support. Now this strike price I will select based on this premium. So 212 will be my premium which I am currently buying. So half of this premium I am going to selling. So if 212 is I am buying, I want to sell the 106 premiums. Whatever nearby to that premium, I will be going to sell. So I can sell 117 or 102. Depends upon your risk, you can sell. Right? So this is how you are going to create the spread. So whatever strike price you are buying, half of the strike price I am going to sell. So if you are buying 500 rupees, you have to sell the 250 rupees. Like that way. So now, this is about the entry point, right? Once you enter into the trade, there will be two scenarios. Either market will go in your favor or market will go against you. So let's discuss both the scenarios. First, if market will go in your favor, let's say market started going to down and your net debit was 110. So if market will go down, your net debit will increase gradually as and when market started going in your favor. So that 110 becomes 165. That's a 50% return. 110 is my net debit. If you consider a 50% return on 110, that's a 55 points. So 55 points, if you will add up into 110, it becomes 165. So 165 is my first target. So once I achieve my first target, I will trail my stop loss to the cost, which is 110. So that means my trade becomes risk free after I have attended first target. So let's say now your spread size become double, market still continue in your favor. So now you are sitting on a 100% ROI. That means your spread becomes double. So in that scenario, you will trail your cost to the first target. That's a 150% of your spread, right? So that means now you will trail your stop loss to 165. So at least you will get 50% return on your spread once you achieve the 100% target. So in that way, at least you will get the 50% return on this trade if you achieve the 100% target. Now, this is what happens if market will go in your favor. But when to actually book profit? So in that scenario, as and when your trailing stop loss got hit, you will exit. Or second, if market started trading below 36,300, which is your selling leg. So once market started trading below your selling leg, that means maximum profit you are already taken out from this spread. So by this time, when market crossing 36,300, you will be sitting on a 200% return. So in that way, you can exit at that point of time. I have written everything, trail the cost to 50%, you can read this as time. This is what if market goes in my favor. Now let's say if market will go against me. So as and when market will go against me, whatever is the next resistance based on your chart, OI data, indicator, whatever you are looking, whenever you are identifying support and resistance, you must be looking something, right? Chart, indicator, OI data. So whatever you are looking, based on that, if your resistance level get triggered, you will exit from this trade. That is the first thing you have to exit. You will not remain into this trade because it's a net debit, so time decay will kick on and you might lose entire 110. So better as and when your resistance break on the upper side, you will exit. Now second thing, adjustment cost. Let's say market doesn't go in your favor, but at the same time market is going against you but doesn't cross the resistance. So in that scenario, we should be in trade, but this is a net debit trade, right? So in that scenario, so your premium decay process will be continuous. So what you need to do, if your spread size become 50%, let's say 110 rupees spread become 55, let's say this 212 become 90 rupees, 105 become 35. So now that 110 spread become, if you will extract 35 from 90, probably 55 rupees. So you paid 110, now it's only 55 rupees. 50% amount you already lost in this trade. So what you need to do, you can add one extra leg. Don't add like double quantity and cover all the cost. At least you can add one extra leg and then probably it's a 1:2 ratio spread. Your debit spread become the ratio. Now in this scenario, market might be around 37,200, 300, then only this kind of scenario will come. So in that scenario, you will not lose too much. Let's say market will break this resistance, you will exit from this trade with minimum cost whenever market break 37,500. But at the same time, if market will go in your favor after adding this leg, you can take a exit as and when you will come into the profit after market break 36,800, because still you are in net debit and you have to add the position in such a way that you will remain in net debit. Your net debit should not be converted to net credit. This is what the only adjustment, guys, I am doing, and I think I should tell you that you should not do too much adjustment, because if you will do too much adjustment, probably your net debit will convert it to net credit and that bearish trade becomes the bullish trade. So you have to keep this thing in your mind. So identify the support and resistance. If your support breaks, you can go and create a debit spread on the put side, and accordingly whatever I told you, you can. Now similarly, you can create the debit spread on the call side. Let's say this is my debit spread on the call side. As and when this resistance break, I will create this debit spread, right? I will buy this one and I will sell this. At that time might be this premium was much more higher, so accordingly this will also be higher. So whatever you are buying, 50% you need to sell. Same logic will be applied on the call side as well. So yeah, that's all about the debit spread, guys. Entry, exit, adjustment and position size. I hope this video will be helpful to you in your trading. If you feel this video is helpful to you, you can like, you can comment, you can subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot. Thank you, guys.